you. And it's because of you that we continue doing what we do. It's because of stories like this that we create this platform for our guests, for our honored guests to come on and share their stories with the world, right? And the only thing we ask of you, if you're tuning into our shows, if you're listening, if you're supporting, please continue to spread the word for the rest of our guests. Continue to spread the word about our shows. You can put it on social media. We certainly appreciate that. You can share it across the globe. You can share it with your friends, your families. But if you could do us one small favor to show us how much you really appreciate this show, if you could go to Apple iTunes and you could give us a 5-star rating, we greatly appreciate that. So for all of our listeners, please write us some good reviews and let us know what you think of our shows. We certainly would appreciate that. And those that are generous enough, feel free to make a contribution to our shows as well. You can donate to us. All that information is on our homepage here at Blog Talk Radio, and we appreciate the contributions. If you like what you hear so far and you'd like to hear more stories like this, then please go to our Cash App. You can Cash App us as well. Pursue your pursue your dream. Pursue your dream. And Sister Tawanda Jones, if you'd like to make a contribution to her and her efforts and what she's doing, Sister Tawanda, please tell our guests where they can find you, how they can support you, and what you need from our listeners today.
Oh, well, thank you, my brother. They can find me on Facebook. If they have Facebook, I am under Tawanda Jones, Tawanda Jones. Also, they can reach me on my brother's page, and that's Justice for Tyrone West. They can send me a message. Also, my direct email address is misstawanda17@yahoo.com. They can send me an email. And most importantly, people that pray, I ask them to keep me constantly in their prayers, be vigilant, because we know what they do to freedom fighters. We know what has happened to our ancestors, freedom fighters that fought this fight, that literally died just so that we could be standing here. Like I think about Rosa Parks, who decided to take a seat so that we could stand up and fight. You know, Dr. King didn't have a dream for us to live out this nightmare. Malcolm X, like the list just literally goes on. So I just ask y'all to be vigilant, keep me in your prayers and thoughts, and God forbid if anything happens to me, shut it down. That's what I always say. That's why I disclosure I approve this message, because it's ridiculous for them to actually have queens and kings actually taken out that are fighting peacefully, that's fighting through love. Like at the end of the day, the way my brother was killed, that was not an act of God. That was purity, hate, and rage and anger. But to me, through love. You know, I don't hate anyone. I hate what happened to my brother, yeah. Makes me mad as I don't know what, but at the end of the day, love is what gets through. You know, so I just ask y'all to keep me in prayers. That's pretty much it.
May I be heard?
Is my mic still open?
Yes. Yes, your mic open. Go ahead, sister. Let's bring the sister on first, Brother Kwame.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead, Mama Z.
Thank you so much. Sister Jones, never fear, never doubt. You will always be in our prayers, and make sure that you tune in next Thursday. I'll put you on notice before that time. And also I want to give thanks to your beautiful companion for being there. You know, it's very, very important. So you give yourself a hug for me. Give your companion a hug from Mama AZ, because that means a lot. His energy exudes through you, and I'm grateful for that. And Brother Kenya, your mom, you give her the greetings. Mom, if you're listening, I thank you for allowing your son to come through your gate so that he could do what he's doing right this moment. And I give thanks to you, my sister. And I love Virginia. I lived there for almost 30-something years, North Carolina and Virginia. So it's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Go ahead, Brother Kwame. Thank us.
No, it was something she said at the last part and about dealing with love, because you're in the DMV and Baltimore's in Maryland, and that's the DMV. And the thing about that, you have the DOJ there, and the actions in which those officers took, and the city was paying for, the wrongful death. The thing in which it looked at is it could be looked at, and we have to begin to look at charging them with hate crimes, because that was pure hate, like you said. And it's a hate crime that they did in doing that. So if the city is not going to do it, then the Justice Department has to do the rightful thing, because it's by law. I don't know, if it's still under the statute, but you can check into looking at that was a hate crime in which they brutally took that man's life.
It really was.
Right, and you have to make them accountable, because in essence is that that's what was in their heart, and what they were doing is that was pure hate. I mean, excessive force to that degree to take another human's life is nothing but pure hate.
Absolutely. And my brother, I hear everything you said. Like, literally, I'm telling you, by the grace of God, my determination and strength has just been amazing to my own self. Like, literally, like all the avenues in which that I could actually do, I done, and I'm still doing. Like, literally, like when our state's attorney at the time declined to press any charges, I'm like, oh no. I had that same mind frame. I didn't name it hate or anything like that, but I just said it, and I actually got in contact, like something just told me at the time to send the President Obama at the time an email, and tell him everything that was happening. It was like a needle in a haystack, but God is good. He actually responded 6 months later to my email. I sent the email, and he actually did his homework, sent me a letter. I have a letter with his signature on it saying that he was going to put me into contact with the, the DOJ and whatnot. And I was like so happy. I literally fell on my knees crying and praising. But unfortunately, when I took it to them, it's always, like I said, the Doug Burn. As soon as you get somebody that's actually going to look in it, they some kind of way find a way to get rid of them. Because I had this one sister that was like, oh, we almost there. And then literally once I got to the turning point, like I called her back because she was doing her investigation. I was sending her everything, those horrible pictures. I mean, everything. And literally I called. They had a whole nother woman working there. They let her go. Instantly, like we had a commissioner here, Daryl DeSuso, who I met with and told him everything that happened to my brother. And he was like, oh, my goodness, that's horrible. My heart goes on. He actually showed up at a West Wednesday, and he was like, you know what, this is not going to be, looking at lightly on my tender. And he said that he was going to actually do something in my brother's case, as well as the detective that got murdered here, and they try to say that this detective killed himself, Detective Suter. But nevertheless, as soon as I met with him, as soon as it looked like it was cracking, they wound up letting him go, saying he fraud, and they locked him up about his taxes. Like, every time I get to that point, they snatch somebody away. But at the end of the day, we serve a good God. I'm going to continue on fighting because I'm living in truth. See, one thing about the truth, it never changed. So that's what I'm all about, love and truth, and bringing it to power and light. So I'm just going to keep on doing what I got to do.
And on a separate note, sister, since you mentioned that, Sister Tawanda, since you mentioned that tax evasion piece, Trump signed a bill recently, I think it was January, that alleviated anyone having to file a tax return. So no one can be forced to file a tax return. No one can go to jail for not filing their taxes anymore.
Wow.
It's Amendment 16. Amendment 16, they canceled that. They said that it was unconstitutional, that it was unlawful, And who knows why that took place. Maybe Trump's going to be in office another year. Maybe he won't, but who knows? Whenever he leaves office, he's going to have a lot of money. So, I mean, you know.
But, Brother King.
Go ahead, brother.
The thing in which he did is because if you look in the book under U.S. government, you will not find the IRS listed there. They are not a part of the government. They're a separate entity that's contracted with the government for doing collection of taxes. And
that's
so
right, but they act as if they are the government.
Right, and what they're doing is that they're a collection agency for the government, for the banking cartel that is running the U.S. Treasury, because that happened back in 1913 with the Mohawk Conference when they bought the Treasury Department, and that's when they switched from gold and silver to what we call in 1956. Or 57 when they put on the greenback, they put in God We Trust, because that was the source of revenue from the gold, oil, and drugs.
Yes, sir. Thank you, brother. We appreciate it. And, you know, again, we know that, you know, the stuff that's going on in government, well, you know, they do what they have to do to protect them. It's not necessarily for the rights of all the people. Nevertheless, I just thought I'll share that information with you guys about Amendment 16. You can search that on your spare time. They wrote that into law and said that it's unconstitutional, it's illegal. So what about all those brothers and sisters they locked up for tax evasion? You know, they still got that on their record. I remember what was that, years ago, Wesley Snipes got locked up for tax evasion. So,
and
you know, it's been going on for quite some time.
Right.
Say that one more time.
Look at marijuana legalization. Look at all the people that's locked in the prison system now for possession of marijuana or distribution of marijuana.
And they're going to continue to be locked up because it's legal on a state level, but it's still illegal on a federal level. It's still illegal.
Right.
So the feds can kick in your door anytime. Number one, you're giving them easy access to you. They know who you are. You're ordering this stuff online. And the stuff that they are selling to you is genetically modified anyway. And it's causing you to have leaky gas, leaky gut, and all types of other unhealthy ailments that's associated with it. And it will wipe you out, and it's weakening your immune system, period. So, again, you know, if that's what you're into, you might as well just continue to go into whoever your provider was to begin with. At least you know what you're getting, or grow your own stuff, whatever that is. You know, but you got to be aware of what's going on. You definitely have to be aware of what's going on. You know, the government tells you, okay, it's okay to buy weed. We're going to sell it to you. I don't trust that. I don't smoke weed anyway. But I'm just saying, I wouldn't trust that. Not at all. But what they don't realize, again, is that it's illegal. It's illegal federally. It's illegal.
Right, and that's in part. But we don't want to steer away from Sister Tawanda. And just looking at all the doors that she has been to and knocked and opened and was not able to get in to get the justice that she wants for her brother. But it's coming because love conquers all.
Amen.
Tawanda has done a phenomenal job with what she's doing with her fight. And like I said, I met her personally when she came down to Ferguson, Missouri, during that the assassination of Michael Brown Jr. And so she has definitely been on the battlefield, you know, fighting for everyone. I mean, she has been doing her thing. So she is working with Baltimore City and State of Baltimore, Maryland, to change laws that will benefit the citizens of Baltimore. Tawanda, tell us again some of the things that you guys got going on in Baltimore in the legislative department. I know that you are working with a lot of different entities, so please share some of that with us.
Yeah, so again, I'm working with the ACLU as well as different coalition groups such as Not Without Black Women, running for running for justice, Youth for Justice, and the West Coalition, which